Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have done some interesting cat Halloween makeup today. So I got this idea because I was talking with my friend Alexis and she was telling me about a cat look she did a couple years ago, and she sent me a picture and it really inspired me to kind of just run with it and do my own thing. I will insert the picture of her here. I know, isn't she gorgeous? In this video today, I'm doing a voiceover of the makeup tutorial. When you do tutorials like this that are really intense and take a lot of time, it's kind of just easier to just get in your zone, do your thing, and then talk about later what you did throughout the entire look. I know my whiskers are looking super janky. That was the end, and I kind of rushed through them because my son is waiting on me. So if you would like to see how I did this cute little cat Halloween look, then please just keep on watching. I started with the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer for my face. I'm just going to rub that in and make sure it's nice and set for my foundation. And for my foundation, I use the Maybelline 24-Hour Foundation. I'm just going to pat that onto my face, and then I will use my Real Techniques beauty sponge and just bounce that in and make sure it looks nice and smooth. Oh, I guess I like it. Okay, and for concealer, I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Concealer. So I just place that in areas that I want it to be a little more highlighted, and I'm using my same beauty sponge, and I'm just gonna blend that all in and make sure it looks nice and seamless. I'm also going to use this on top of my lids to create sort of a base for everything we're going to do on top of the eyes. That's the face so far. Now I'm using my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder just to set down everything that I have already put under my face. I'm going to bake under my eyes and then also set the rest of my face with my big fluffy brush. I'm also using that same powder to set my eyelids to get them prepared for everything else. And now I'm grabbing my Hoola bronzer just to do a little bit of contouring and really carve out my cheekbones. And now I'm taking my big fluffy brush and my butter bronzer, and I'm just going to bronze up the rest of my face. I'm going to hit my cheeks, and also I'm going to do a little bit on my forehead. Oh, and don't forget under that jawline, we gotta try to make sure that double chin is not showing through. And now I'm just gonna pinch my brush a little bit and just hit the sides of my nose and right under my lip to make it a little more pouty. And oh, there is the face, okay. Oops, I found a little orange that needs to be blended in. Just blend, 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 blend. Now I'm grabbing an angled flat brush and I'm dipping into my e.l.f. blush palette, and I'm taking these two colors and I'm just gonna pat them onto my cheekbones and make sure the color is there. Then I will grab my big fluffy brush and just blend it all in and make sure there's no lines and make sure everything looks seamless. And now it is time for brows. I'm going to take my Tarte Clay Pot in brown and grab my eyebrow brush and just start to fill them in. I like to make them look natural and fluffy so I don't add too much color to them, but I do like to add a little bit darker to the outer edge just to give it a little bit of an ombre look. And then I just grab the spoolie and brush it out and make sure it's nice and soft, and then that brow is complete. I did the other brow off of camera, so now they are both done, and I'm just going to grab this Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Eyebrow Gel and just set my eyebrows down to make sure they stay the way I want them throughout this entire makeup tutorial. Now I'm hopping into highlighter, and I'm going to use my Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter and just hit the high points of my face. I'm going to get my cheekbones, then I'm going to use my finger and put a little bit right on the top of my nose, and also some on my forehead, the tip of my nose, and then I'll get the Cupid's bow as well. And now that the base is done, I am going to tell you right here that I am going to hop off of camera and complete one eye off of camera and come back and then show you how I did that look on the other side. So here is one completed eye, and I will now start the steps to show you how I created this look on that eye. For this tutorial, I'll only be using the Nightingale palette by Pretty Vulgar, and I'm going to take the shade Hide and Seek on a big fluffy brush and just blend that right into my crease. I'm going to bring it in a little farther than normal, and I'm also going to take it out to the outer edge a little more than I normally do with my eyeshadow. And next I'm going to take the shade After Midnight with a smaller pencil brush and just place that a little lower in the crease. And really making sure that that is placed right where I want it before I start to blend it in. Then I will slowly start to blend it with my pencil brush, making sure it doesn't get too high. But also we're going to be carving out the eyeshadow, so if it gets a little bit messy, then it doesn't really matter. And I'm taking my bigger fluffy brush and just really making sure it's all blended together really nice, and still just blending and blending and blending and blending. And the next step I'm going to do is grab the black shade out of the palette and put that even lower into the crease to give the eye a little bit more definition, get it placed right where I want it, and then I will start to blend that shade out as well. And I will just continue blending this black in until the edges look nice and seamless and make sure it looks all blended nice. Then I'm going to grab a makeup wipe and a makeup brush with a smaller end and put the wipe over the end of the brush and really start to clean up that eyeshadow and carve out the edges where I have my cut crease on the other side. It does not need to be perfect right now because we will go in and cover it with concealer too, but this is just going to help to get it started. And now I'm taking my Blackest Black eyeliner by L'Oreal and a little tiny brush, and I'm just going to start to work up that eyeliner and place it where I need it. I have really hooded eyes, so it helps for me to keep my eyes open so I can see where the liner is going to show on top of my eye and see exactly where I want it placed. I would say that the eyeliner is definitely the longest step for me, just because in my first eye I had to redo it a few times because it was still getting into my crease because of my hooded eyes. But you'll see now we're trying to get this wing and matched up to the other side, and we're going really dramatic with it today. And now I'm just grabbing my makeup wipe on the end of my brush one more time just to get that lid cleaned up before we start the lower liner on the lid. Now I'm taking that small brush again and I'm just going to start to line right across the lash line, thickening it up as I go, but just making sure that line is nice and straight. I am terrible at wing liner as it is, which is probably part of the reason that it took me so long to do this, but I do want to match the outside wing up with the shape of the top, and then also I'm going much further in on the inner corner and then really just dragging that along the lower lash line as well and just matching that all up around my eye. I have a little mole right there on the outside of my eye, which is making it really hard to really get that point going on the outside. But again, I'm just continuing to drag this along the lower lash line and just match it to my other eye. I really want to get into that inner corner, fill that all in, and I'm going to connect the line from the top to the inner corner as well so that it all matches. Once again, I'm grabbing my makeup wipe and just cleaning up the edges one more time. And then I'm going to grab my black pencil liner and I'm going to line both the bottom and top water lines of my eye. And I ended up deciding to use my makeup wipe to also clean up the edges of my eyeshadow and make it much more dramatic, because I did attempt to do it with concealer and the color of the eyeshadow was just kind of blending into the concealer and it was still looking darker than I wanted it to. So I'm just taking the end of that brush and carving out the eyeshadow. Now I'm going to grab my Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer and place a little bit on the back of my hand and just grab a small pencil brush and really start to carve out the lid better and make the edges a little bit sharper and really get it set for where I'm going to place all my glitter. And I'm also going to take this on top of my eyeshadow as well to really carve that out and get that ready for the glitter as well. And just really make sure it's matching the other eye and everything is placed right where I want it to be. And then I will grab my Maybelline Fit Me powder and just set all of that down, because when I open my lid, the concealer will go up onto the eyeliner and I don't want that to happen. And I'll just set right up above my lid too. And now I'm grabbing this white glitter by Hard Candy and I'm just going to take a little flat brush and start to apply this to the areas that I just carved out. I'm trying to just pat it on and make it look super intense and really just fill in that area with glitter and make it nice and dramatic. And then also taking a little bit bigger flat brush, placing this above my eyeshadow as well, just to give it a little bit more of a pop, and try to really just get that a little bit more blended and make sure it looks nice. Then I'm going to grab my roller lash mascara and just lightly coat my lashes because I will be putting on false lashes. And I'm also going to throw a little bit on my lower lashes and then they were just called Black Lashes by Ardell, and I don't really do false lashes, so I'm struggling with them for a while, trying to get them in place. I don't really know how to put them on. Now I need them to stick onto my lids, and all right, well, I guess that'll do. And those are the finished eyes so far. And now I am going to start with the nose. I'm taking the same black eyeliner and a little pencil brush, and I'm just going to start to draw the lines where I want the nose placed on my face. And you want to just barely start with this liner on the tip of your nose and kind of work it down around the edges of your nostrils, and then also right in the middle, and then just barely down around the bottom, and then just try to make sure both sides are even. I was struggling a little bit with shaky hands at this point and was having a bit of a hard time getting it even on both sides, but I did eventually get it done. Ooh, getting excited. Now we are going to move on to lips, and I am just taking a black pencil liner and just starting to line all the edges of my lips and make sure they are really nice and dark. And I actually didn't love that liner, so I switched to a different one and just started filling in the outer edges of my lips as well to give them a little more definition. And now I'm going to take this red liquid lipstick by Anastasia Beverly Hills and just fill in the center of my lips. And now I'm just taking a little bit of the black liquid liner just on the edges so that I can really get those colors to blend nicely together. Now I'm taking that skinny brush again, and I'm just going to make a line right from the center of my nose right down to the center of my lips, thicken it up a little bit, and also overdraw my lips a little bit just to make it a little bit more dramatic. And now we are going to get started with the whisker portion, and I'm just taking 3 dots on both sides of my face, trying to place them in the same spots to give that look. And then I'm going to take my pencil eyeliner and just kind of sketch out the places where I want the whiskers to be, and then I will go over it with the gel liner after. But I do just want to make sure I have the lines in the right places on both sides. Now I'm taking that little brush again and just really putting those whiskers on, and I actually had a hard time with this because my son was yelling at me in the background and I was trying to rush, but I know you can do much better than I did on the whiskers. And here is our finished look. And now you get to see me turning my head around a whole bunch because I wasn't able to film an outro because I needed to go be with my son. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.